Okay, we're recording.
Call the meeting to order. If you'd do the roll call, please.
Dave Waddington,
Here.
Dan Delahunt,
Here.
John Fike,
Here.
Walt Matthews, Greg Peugeot, Dr. Siemens.
Here.
There are 3 out of 5. We have a quorum. We have the minutes from the August 24th meeting. What's your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the meeting, or the minutes of the last meeting as written.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is an adjudication hearing. Means that if you want to give testimony, you need to be sworn in. So if whoever's going to talk, you'd raise your right hand, repeat after me. Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, thank you. You are sworn in. When you come up, I'll ask for people who want to speak in favor and then people who want to speak against. I'll need you to come over to the podium, state your name and address, and then you can address the body. The first item on the agenda is an area variance to zoning code 1145.15A for 612 Anderson Street to allow the construction of a new detached garage in the replacement of a previous detached garage within the minimum setback from the main structure in an R140 single-family zoning district. We have the staff's report. Is there anything additional you wish to add?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The site is zoned R140 single-family residential, and it also is zoned TRO, Transient Overlay District. The surrounding zoning of this site mimics this 612 Anderson Street site, with all of the parcels being R140 single-family residential and also TRO, Transient Overlay District. The surrounding uses of this property are all residential. The existing use of this property is residential. The proposed use is staying residential. The applicant is in the process of rebuilding a garage which was lost to a fire. The garage will be placed in a similar location as previous, but with different dimensions. The original dimensions were 18 foot by 23 foot, and the proposed dimensions are 16 foot by 20 foot. This garage, before it was broke down, was a legal non-conforming structure. Our zoning code states that after a 60% damage or loss, it's considered a total loss and must follow the new zoning code requirements. The zoning code requires a 10-foot minimum setback from an accessory structure to a main structure. This proposed setback is 5 feet. The applicant is seeking a variance of 5 feet to allow a 5-foot setback between the accessory structure and the main structure. Staff reviewed this application and has determined that the variance requested is appropriate. Plan staff supports the requested variance at 612 Anderson Street and suggests the following conditions upon approval. And that's that all applicable permits must be obtained to the building department, engineering department, division of planning, and any other applicable agency prior to any construction. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who wish to speak in favor of this request? If so, please come to the podium.
Brian Notstein, 617 Lockwood. I'm directly behind that. My wife has MS, so I use that alley every day to get her in and out of the house because it's more advantageous because I have a concrete pad that allows 2 vehicles back there. Where their garage was before was kind of fine, but it was right up like maybe 2 feet off of the main drag of the alley. I have an F-150 pickup truck and then my wife's car. The F-150, if I would stop my car between their garage and the garage next to me on 613 Lockwood, I wouldn't even be able to open the doors. If what I see on this new drawing that they're going to be 3.5 feet off of the alley, I'm fine with that. But if they go to the existing pad that's there right now, that's only about 2 feet. And keep in mind, in this wintertime, you have to plow snow down that alley to get down to it. And the more them garage structures are right on that alley line, there's no place to put the snow. You can't do anything about the garage that are existingly there already that are right on the line. There's plenty of them like mine. They're 10 feet off of the alley. Some are 4, some are 5. What we don't want is to rebuild in a wrong way that some of those existing buildings are right now, right on that alley. Because that alley is used by at least 7 of us at either end. and it goes from First Street all the way down to Cove Boulevard. So right now, from what I see on the drawing, I have no problem. Hell, I get a new garage. I can't imagine existing without one, just to store your stuff. But if it's going to be impeding on that garage or that alleyway where you can't access it without literally, hoping you can get through it. Before the fire, the only other option, or the only other complaint I had with the owners was they had hedgerow all around their property, and they wouldn't trim it sometimes. And they had no reason to go into the alley because they approached their garage from Anderson Street. So on the back side, it would actually grow into the alley, and I couldn't even get by it without scraping my brand new pickup truck. I complained one time, the city came out and trimmed it. I watched the city crew pull up, trim the shrubs, and off they went. So now that the shrubs are gone, I'm fine with that. That made it a heck of a lot better. But if the garage gets built any closer than what the existing one is, we're back to the same thing, because the shrubs were literally 2.5 feet past the garage into the alleyway. And I have pictures of the complaint when I called the city about it and stuff. I actually have a picture of my truck and stuff where you can't even open the doors. So from what I see in the drawings, it's fine as long as they stay off the alley. Thank you.
Just for point of reference for yourself, they are asking us for a variance for the difference between
The house.
their house and the garage.
And I see it says 3.5 feet from the property line
Right.
by the alley.
Correct.
That's perfect. That's fine.
That's what he says he's building. We're not approving 3.5 feet, 2.5, we're not approving anything on the back. We may approve the variance for the 5 feet. That's the only thing that we're looking
Look
at.
at that ordinance that you're talking about. It says on it, 3 feet from side yard and backyard except for alley. But it doesn't explain, what do you mean by except for alley? So I went to the alley ordinances, and it says you cannot impede on public right-of-ways, whether it be pedestrian or traffic, and that is, it's even posted at the other end on First Street, public alley, do not block alley. And there's an apartment building right there that parks there, right in the middle of the alley, unloads their groceries all the time. You'll come up, you can't even go down the alley because they're sitting there parked right in the middle of the alley, right next to a sign that says do not block alley. So, me and about 6 others that use that alley, just, if something has to be rebuilt, don't impede on the alley any more than it is, because it's one of the narrower alleys in Sandusky, but it's a very functional alley for some of us that need it. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may add a comment. First off, thank you for addressing your comments. I would like to just touch base on that. So it looks like originally I found an old aerial photo from spring of 2020 in the bottom left corner on your screen. Without a survey, I can't confirm, but based from the naked eye here, it does look like the garage was on the property line, if not even encroaching slightly into the alley. As proposed, the new garage will be, as you mentioned, 3.5 feet off. So they are adjusting that to meet our new zoning code standards, which is a 3-foot setback from that property line. And they will not need a variance to do that because they are meeting the requirement. Thank you.
Great. Is there anyone else in the audience who wishes to speak in favor of this request? You don't have to. I mean, that's just your prerogative. Is there anyone?
I'm sorry, we just thought that we were here because of the closeness it was to our house. And the shrubs that he's talking about, we completely pulled those out, those are gone.
Which they did.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Would you come up here and talk? Because she's recording it. She'll know that someone talked, but she doesn't know who it was.
Hello, he was just talking about
Your name, please.
I'm Ashley.
And address.
I'm nervous, I'm sorry, 612 Anderson Street.
Thank you.
Yeah, the shrubs that he was talking about, they're gone. We pulled those all out because they were just shrubs that, they were 50 years old. They were a pain in the butt to trim all the time, so we just pulled them out, and we eventually want to build a fence instead, and we're going to have to get zoning permits for that also, but we just want basically our garage back. We had all of our stuff in there. We have to lug our bikes in and out of our house right now. We don't have a lawnmower. We can't keep any of our things. We just want our garage back. We don't want anything bigger or better, just what we had. And, I mean, if he's,
I'm fine with it.
yeah, I mean,
I feel bad for you that you don't have it.
yeah, it was a while ago, but it's still pretty sad. I mean, I have pictures of what it looked like before it burnt down.
We're, the three of us are just concerned how close it is to your house.
Right.
That's our only concern.
Yeah.
Other things that he's addressed, you are already addressing, that's great, that makes for happy neighbors.
Yeah, okay.
So,
I'm just explaining the situation.
yep, that's
Thank
fine,
you.
great.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to add another comment. So based on an aerial analysis, it looked like the original garage was about 2 feet off of the house, so they have expanded another 3 feet off of the house from the original. Thank you.
Great, all right.
Tell me,
Based on aerial analysis, it looked like the pre-existing garage was only about 2, maybe 2.5 feet of setback from the main structure of the house, and they're proposing a 5 foot, so they have put a little bit more space between the two on their new proposal.
So it's,
so if we're
when you
farther
build
away
it
from the
back,
house and we're farther
it's gonna
away
be
from the
further
alley.
away,
I'm
and-
sorry?
Yeah, what they're gonna do is further away from the house than what it was and further off the alley than what it was. They're gonna make the situation better,
Okay.
so.
yeah, that's-
Sounds like a win-win to me.
Yes. Is there anyone else wish to speak in favor or against this request?
Can I say one more thing?
Please come up here.
The only thing that I was concerned about is our insurance company didn't give us money to redo the foundation. The foundation's already still there, it's just a slab. So then we'd have to just go into all that extra work, dig that up and redo all of that. So that was something that we were just trying to avoid. That's all.
Okay. Not seeing anybody else hopping up, but we'll move back to the board. Any questions? If none, there's a motion is in order.
I'd make a motion to approve this variance.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion to approve this variance and seconded. Any questions? Seeing none, if you'd call the roll, please.
Dan Delahunt,
Yes.
Dr. Siemens,
Yes.
John Fike.
Yes, this variance is approved.
And I would say we probably recommend that you build it as you have drawn it. I think that keeps everybody happy.
Yeah, and there'll be a additional permitting process that I'll do after this, just to make sure everything's up to compliance with what's proposed, so,
And when you build a fence, you'll need a permit for that too.
correct.
Okay. If there's nothing else, motion to adjourn.
No additional business.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 We are adjourned.
I'll see you guys next month. We have 3 items.